infrastructure. Welcome to the War of 1812. The War of 1812 started June 18th, 1812 and ended February 18th, 1814. It was between Britain and America. Canada was in custody of Britain at the time, which caused Canada to get involved. It has shaped Canada's identity a lot, so therefore it is important to Canadian history. Why the war started? While the British were at war with the French, the Americans took the first opportunity to take over Upper and Lower Canada. The British were trying to interfere with America, trading, and the European nations. 10,000 Americans were forced to serve on British ships in 1793 and 1812. The HMS Leopard, a British workship, fired at an American ship, USS Chesapeake, in 1807. On the American ship, 3 people died and 18 were injured. Important people in the war. Isaac Brock. He was the first leader on the British side, and he sealed the alliance between the British and the Native Americans. Tecumseh. He was a tribe leader, and he led many soldiers through battles. General Wilson Hull. He was the one he commanded to invade Canada, which is a huge part of the war. Now, the battles in the war, which we'll see a little bit later. And we'll move on to how it changed and affected Canada. Canada wouldn't exist if they didn't win, because it would be part of the American territories. There are so many heroes and known people of the battle in Canada's side because of their hard work. Upper and Lower Canada became close after the battles because they were not reaching agreements since there was an understanding between the English speaking and the French speaking before the War of 1812. How the war ended. The war ended when a peace treaty, Treaty of Ghent, was signed by the Americans and British on December 24th, 1814, before Christmas. Canada is the only one who can claim victory, because America, as well as the native people of North America, received no acre of land. Canada is the only one who got their land after the battle. Now we have a Kahoot game ready for you guys. The top 5 winners get prize. Now let's move on to the battles in the war. The War of 1812. Battles. The Siege de Detroit. Battle was on August 16th, 1812. This was the first battle of the war. Americans wanted to disturb the British and their allies' communication. The British were outnumbered, and the Americans surrendered. This win sealed the alliance between the British and the First Nation, Brock and Tecumseh. Bonus fact, the Americans had 2,500 soldiers, while the British only had a few hundred. Battle of Queenston Heights. The battle was on October 13th, 1812. The British weren't prepared when the Americans attacked. The British only had a small amount of troops. Some Americans would not fight on the Canadian border, which caused the Americans to lose the battle. Did you know the British leader, Brock, was killed in the chest and killed during the battle? Battle of York. Battle was on April 27th, 1813. Weapons were stored in York, now Toronto. 1,700 American troops and large amount of ships attacked York. The Americans won the battle. And where did you think in the world did you know that York is now Toronto? Battle of Chickagua. This battle was on October 26, 1813. The Americans had poor communication. The Americans outnumbered the British once again. The Americans left and lost the battle. Bright idea! The British tricked the Americans into thinking that they were outnumbered and that they would lose, using fire and shades. The Battle of Lundy's Lane. The battle took place on July 25th, 1814. It was in Niagara Falls. Both the British and the Americans killed some of their own men. And did you know America left and built defense at Fort Erie, which caused the next battle? And the siege of Fort Erie. This took place on August 13th, 1814. The British attacked Fort Erie. The Haudenosaunee, First Nations, Ojibwe, Mississauga, Ottawa, Wagantua, and Delaware fought against the British. They could not defeat Americans. Fun alert! The Americans blew up Fort Erie so that the British could not use it. The burning of Washington, D.C. The British burned the White House, as well as federal buildings, private homes, and more. This burning was on August 13th, 1814. The only government building left standing was the U.S. Patent Office. It was revenge, since the U.S. troops burned Canadian government buildings. Thank you for listening to my presentation about the War of 1812, and hope you have a nice day.